This is Sauna chicken, and it's a pretty fun and relatively new way to eat a chicken. What you're looking at is a deboned chicken, classically a whole bird, but don't worry, we won't make you walk that mile, cut up and steamed in the Cantonese style. Thus, the sauna. But what makes this fun is that after you're done eating the chicken, there will be some steamed rice or root vegetables underneath, and then after you're done with that, you open it all up and start a hot pot with a quick broth made from the bones of the chicken and the drippings from steaming. Now, of course, the combination of steaming something while boiling something obviously isn't anything new in China. It's a pretty logical trick, particularly with those old school wok setups, particularly when steaming a mountain of rice. That said, this dish, sauna chicken, is pretty squarely a modern restaurant phenomenon, invented just recently in the aughts and hailing from our old home in Shunde, a bit south of Guangdong. Now, Shunde is a city that's pretty famous for its food, and some of the very best restaurants there are called nongzhuang, or farmhouse restaurants. As the name implies, these are restaurants that were opened by villagers in the area, competing to get customers driving in on the weekend from the surrounding cities. Sometimes they try to entice people with very specific traditional dishes like clam congee, giant dumpling balls, that sort of thing, or alternatively with inventive dishes like tom yum hotpot or flaming goose. You know, something fun, something with a small element of spectacle. This dish was born from that latter category, but as the years tick by, it's increasingly ascending to thinghood. After all, yesterday's meme food can quickly become tomorrow's nostalgia. But just like our hot take from our How to Hot Pot video, for us, we do think that this dish is one of those things that's actually better to cook at home. Because, so long as you're not actually trying to debone that whole chicken, it's reasonably easy to whip up, technically still one pot, and it's just a relaxing way to let a summer night drift in the comfort of your own balcony or patio. That's it. First up, we should probably talk equipment, because your setup will likely end up a little different from our setup. The route we're going to be going with this is via our stainless steel steaming wok, plus one of these sorts of steaming racks on top. But do know that basically any sizable steaming setup should work fine here. Larger steaming pot, Dutch oven insert, really anything suitably large. And also totally feel free to channel your inner MacGyver. Consideration number 2, then, before charging forward. What direction you want to go with your starch. For our recipe today, we'll be assuming a rice base on top of a lotus leaf, but you do have options. Leaf-wise, lotus is recommended, but far from mandatory. Lettuce would be fine, and use what you've got. And worst comes to worst, parchment paper is also an option. But besides rice, other classic starch components might include sweet potato or taro, and if you laid your chicken on top of those, the leaf would be squarely optional. So then, with that said, now let's get started, first getting some soaking out of the way. For our rice, this was just 200 grams of sticky rice. Just give it a real good rinse, toss it in a bowl, and fill it up with hot boiled water from the kettle, and let that soak for 1 hour. And, similar deal, grab 4 large dried shiitake mushrooms, also fill those up and let them soak for the same time. And lastly, the aforementioned lotus leaf, same hot water soak, same timing. Now then, the titular chicken. Again, in Shunde, restaurants do this with one whole deboned chicken. So if you feel like going Jacques Pepin on this dish, definitely feel free. But as you can probably gather here, I'm not exactly the best deboner on YouTube. So instead, we opted for 3 skin-on bone-in legs, 1 kilo total, bones obviously removed, but the skin still on. Reserve those bones for that quick broth later. Then slice the meat into slivers, a little on the thicker side than usual, about 1 centimeter, and toss those into a bowl. Then, to marinate that, just mix in 1 teaspoon salt, a half teaspoon MSG, a half teaspoon sugar, half tablespoon cornstarch, a quarter teaspoon white pepper powder, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 2 teaspoons rice wine, preferably a clear Cantonese one, but sake, shaoxing, also great, and give that all a real good mix. Then, to that, toss in the white part of 2 scallions, a half-inch worth julienned ginger, mix it all well again, and then coat it all with 2 tablespoons peanut oil, preferably a virgin one. Mix well again, and then set that aside. So then, swinging back to the rice, Give that all a strain, and then marinate that with a quarter teaspoon salt, quarter teaspoon sugar, eighth teaspoon MSG, half teaspoon soy sauce, and then mix that well. And then by this time, our mushrooms are also reconstituted, so then give them a good squeeze, and reserve that soaking liquid for the broth. Slice off the stems, which will also go in the broth, and then cut the rest into thin strips. Then add the shiitake to the marinated chicken, give that a real thorough mix, and then now let's start our sauna. So, to whatever vessel you're using, first toss in a tablespoon of oil, and over a medium flame, toss in a ½ inch of smashed ginger, together with any excess skin from the chicken. Fry those until fragrant, about 1 minute, then toss in the reserved chicken bones. Fry those until they're just starting to brown. Swirl in a tablespoon of liaojiu, aka Shaoxing wine. Quick mix, toss in a half a carrot cut into chunks, and give that a fry for another minute. Then toss in 1.5 liters of hot boiled water from the kettle, the shiitake stems, the shiitake soaking liquid, and a half ear of corn cut in half. And then with that, the broth is ready, so then let's sort our steaming. To do so, first just grab your now reconstituted lotus leaf and cut it down to size to fit onto your rack. Cut a little hole in the center, and then place that over your stock. Evenly spread your rice onto the leaf, cover that up, and let that go for 12 minutes at first. Then lay on half your marinated chicken, and then steam that for 7 minutes more. Then just uncover, sprinkle over a bit of scallion green, and then this is good to serve. But before we forget, a quick dipping sauce to go with this all. Just grab an inch of julienne ginger, 1 scallion green, also julienned, quarter teaspoon salt, half teaspoon sugar, eighth teaspoon MSG, 1 tablespoon soy sauce, 1 teaspoon toasted sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of water, and then mix that well. And then now we can eat. So, again, the essence here is do this all basically like a hot pot. So if you're unsure how to go about that philosophically, do check out our Hotpot manifesto video. Either way, just slowly munch and enjoy that perfectly steamed chicken leg, dipping it as you go, downing it with some Cantonese rice wine if you can swing it. Then, once you're done with one batch of chicken, toss on the other and steam it for the same time. And then just enjoy your chicken, enjoy your rice, and once you've devoured it all, open all up, add a bit more water to get things back to hot pot level, and start your pot with whatever ingredients you like with hot pot. It's all just a great relaxing meal that, while not quite as easy on the cook as a hot pot is undeniably a fun and delicious change of pace.
So this is a very fun meal and it really made me feel like I'm in Shunde. So I hope you can give it a try. And as usual, check out the recipe in the description box. A big thank you for everyone that's supporting us on Patreon, and of course, subscribe for more Chinese cooking videos.